Hey there, YTPC, New Jersey Piper Ben here. Got some Peter Stuckeby luxury navy flake in my Savinelli jumbo. And what happened as soon as I sat down? Loudy McNeighbor face over there opens this garage door and activates something that sounds like an industrial air compressor. And that lasts for a while, and then that stops. And then he backs out his, if I had to guess, I'd say 1992, 93 Corvette. And, just proceeds to let that sit in the driveway idling. For what reason? Who knows? I guess there wasn't enough noise for a long period of time. Okay, he's leaving now. He must have been letting it warm up for 5 minutes. Anyway. At least it's not La Cucaracha, right? It's Friday, about almost 7. At 82 degrees. It turned into a nice afternoon, evening. It was very humid and cloudy earlier. Clouds broke, humidity went away, and it's just pretty nice right now. I got out earlier and put some of that Shine Armor stuff on my car, which you've probably seen infomercials and things for, but it does have some good reviews, and I watched some YouTube videos about how to put it on. So it's basically like one of those like ceramic coatings you put on your car that like protects the paint against water and whatnot. So you see the videos and they do half the hood of the car and leave the other half by itself, and they throw the bucket of water on it and the water beads up and falls off the car like it's magic. So yeah, we'll see how that works. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Made the car shiny, but it was already clean. I got it washed. What is it? I can't remember when I went by there. I think it was oh my God, the time. I have no concept of time anymore. It had to be last weekend, unless I went... You know what I did? I went in the afternoon during the week. So yeah, it was midweek sometime. But there's a place by the house that does, like, we call it a VIP service, where they do the outside, they wipe it down, do the tire shine, and then they do the inside, vacuum, wipe down, clean. They do a very thorough job. And I have a $5 off coupon that I use all the time. It's like a coupon that comes out in like the papers every week, and it never expires. So I've just got them stockpiled. So, I mean, from a value POV, they're doing something that would take me probably 3 hours, and they're doing it in about 20 minutes. So yeah, it's totally worth it for me. I mean, it would literally just dragging all the stuff out, getting the hose ready, preparing all the shit. It would take me at least 3 hours to do what they do. Because, they have a couple of guys working on it at the same time. And obviously the car wash is automatic. So it's a pretty good sort of value for money, for time scenario for me. The luxury navy flake is basically just a vapor. Uses matured flu cured Virginias, old belt Virginias, I think they call them. But the Virginias here, they have a little sweetness, a little brightness, but I would say they have that more hint of breadiness than anything else. As far as like the Virginia spectrum is concerned, they're a little bit, I'd say they're medium Virginias. They're not dark and they're not bright, but it's good. Perique is not heavy in this blend, but it's there enough to give you a little bit of that dark fruit, a little bit of that spice. So yeah, it's a nice balanced blend, nice easygoing blend. I figured I could handle in the jumbo for a pretty long smoke. I watched an old movie from all my TCM recordings, Turner Classic Movie recordings, last night called Bad Day at Black Rock. It's from 1955, directed by John Sturgis, starring Spencer Tracy and I'm gonna forget his name. Yeah, I forgot his name. Robert Ryan. There it is. Spencer Tracy, Robert Ryan, and some other people. Ernest Borgnine's in it. But basically there's this old, just sleepy town out west in the middle of nowhere. And a train passes through the town, but the train never stops because nobody ever gets off there. But for some reason, Spencer Tracy gets off there, and he's the first guy to get off the train in that town in 4 years. And he's kind of a mysterious guy, older fellow. So at this point, Spencer Tracy was probably about, I'd say at least in his 70s, early 70s probably. And yeah, he gets off the train, and the people in the town are like, who is this guy? And they immediately just start treating him like shit, like disrespecting him, like trying to get him to leave, like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And it becomes apparent pretty quickly that the people in this town have a pretty big secret they're trying to keep. And their fear is that he's there because of that secret, and he's snooping around trying to figure out what went down. And as the movie advances, you start to figure out, you know, exactly what went down and why he's there. And so it's it's actually a pretty short movie. It's only an hour and 22 minutes. But I'd say it's, you know, a suspense mystery sort of movie. But for my money, it was totally worth the watch just to see Spencer Tracy pretty much incapacitate Ernest Borgnine with one hand, because Spencer Tracy's character, for some reason, he never uses his left hand in the entire movie. His left hand is always in his pocket, so you just assume he's been injured somehow, and as the story unfolds, you assume it's probably a war injury when some of his background starts to get revealed. So, but yeah, he just if one guy, you know, eventually pushes him enough to get him to defend himself and fight back, and when he does so, he shows the rest of the group, I'm not somebody to be trifled with. And that was portrayed pretty well in the movie, and it was pretty funny scene in what's a generally pretty heavy movie, heavy subject matter. And honestly, pretty brave subject matter for 1955, given this is not even 10 years, maybe about 10 years, over 10 years since the end of World War II, but Again, some of the themes in the movie, as far as what it deals with, sorry, I'm being attacked by a fly, what it deals with is some specific subject matter around what happened in World War II and things like that. But I won't get into it too much. But I'd had the movie on DVD for a long time. It came in a Controversial Classics boxed set, which is a fantastic box set. All the movies in it were great. Had movies like Advise and Consent, The Americanization of Emily, Fury, Bad Day at Black Rock, I Was a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. I think that's it, but just classic old movies. But yeah, if you like old movies or movies in general, and you're looking to get into old movies, my method of watching movies by recording them off of TCM is turning out to be quite fruitful. Where I'll basically go into TCM's schedule online and see what they're going to be playing, and then I'll just set it up to record in my YouTube TV app. And it's super easy, and the interface in YouTube TV is nice because when you watch it, it just kind of floats out of your queue. And it keeps everything in chronological order of when it was recorded. But yeah, I've got a chunk of Charlie Chaplin movies on there that I've never seen before, like Modern Times, City Lights, Limelight, The Great Dictator, some old Bogey, some old Humphrey Bogart movies. Yeah, seeing lots of stuff on there. Just a kind of a hint or a tip on kind of deciphering Turner Classic Movies and what they're showing. You can bring up their full schedule and you can have it show you an entire week at a time, and you can pick the day it starts. But if you see a movie, there's a plus sign. You click on the plus sign there on the right of the listing. It'll expand the details on the movie and show you who directed it, the stars, the synopsis, and it'll also give you a rating. And what they generally do is I see Leonard Maltin's rating for the movie. So, a fairly reliable rating for the movie, so you can kind of decide whether or not it's something you want to see. But I have also noticed Turner Classic Movies tends to show sort of better, more popular movies starting in the late afternoon and into the evening, with their 6 p.m. and sort of 8 to 9 p.m. time slots being dedicated to like the biggest movies of the day. So that kind of helps me filter to what I kind of want to pay attention to the most, I guess, if that makes sense. And most of the stuff they're playing in prime time, most of it I've heard of, a lot of it I already own and have seen, but there's some that are popping in there that I'm excited to check out for the first time. So it's kind of, again, this kind of how I'm justifying my YouTube TV subscription at the moment, and in addition to having access to live TV, which is very helpful in some scenarios. As little as I pay attention to sports, sometimes it is nice to just turn on a college football game and have it on in the background or whatever, but I guess the jury's still out on whether or not that's going to happen this year. I know they were having debates about what they were going to do with the season, but I don't know. I don't know what they ended up deciding, but yeah. Either way, I'm not that concerned about it. It is what it is. So as usual, I've rambled on long enough. Oh my lord, I'm at 14 minutes. Sorry guys. Peter Stokely Luxury and Heavy Flake is great. The Savinelli Jumbo comes in handy for those nice long smokes at the end of the day. Bad Day at Black Rock is a fantastic older movie from 1955. Spencer Tracy's a badass. Yeah, you guys take care, and as usual, be excellent to each other. Have a great weekend.